This is Doc Deason's weather.
You're watching Doc Deason's weather.
2 decades of severe weather experience here for you when it counts. This is Doc Deason's weather, live now.
Tornado warning.
All right, guys, good afternoon, everybody. It is our good morning, 11:58, so we're almost to lunchtime as we come on to talk about the tornado warning, which has been issued for Smith County and also adjacent areas of what would be Gregg County. This will be northeastern Smith County only on the warning. This will be north and east of Tyler. Let's get onto the radar real fast and work a couple of things here. I've been in the process of trying to decipher some of what we had in the Lindale area from earlier on, and so we'll talk about that here just in a little bit. All right. Okay. Here's the area of concern. This will be along Highway 31. So this is northeast of Chapel Hill, southwest of Liberty City. You guys in the Liberty City area, obviously along Interstate 20. This will be north, we'll call it west of Kilgore, probably more appropriately said, there on the Smith County side of the Gregg-Smith County line. This is the area, I think, that's gotten the Weather Service concerned. And with what happened in the Lindale area earlier on, it's not surprising that they went ahead with the warning. If you're not yet familiar with what happened there, we'll talk about that in a second. But again, this area of circulation right there along Highway 31, again, we're looking at the Shreveport radar, and the radar is looking at winds blowing in towards its site there, just near the Shreveport airport, and then the corresponding outbound indications there, just north of 31, or right there, converging right along 31, we'll say. So that's the reason for the warning. The activity that we had over northern Smith County near Lindale has most likely helped to contribute to that also. Today did not necessarily look as much like a tornadic situation, but some of these little spin-ups can occur, and we know it is April, and April is the notorious time of the year to cause problems for us, and so there you kind of are with all of that. All right, let's look at the track on this stuff here. We'll put the radar into motion. Give me a second to do that. Let me pull some of this off so you can see that again, tracking to the kind of the east northeast. You guys in Liberty City, this is coming up between you guys and probably past pretty close to Liberty City, honestly. I think if I'm having to just lay down some points of reference there. Sirens in White Oak, Daphne. Okay, thank you for that. So, let's exercise those tornado precautions as we should during a situation like this. That would include, lowest floor of the structure that you're in. You want to be away from those windows. You want to be more or less kind of in the centermost part of the building. Put all the distance that you can between what's going on outside, which is where the danger's at, and where you are on the inside. Lowest floor, we like that. Better to be downstairs than upstairs. Small interior rooms, closets, those are good. Obviously, we like the lower profile of that compared to larger rooms. Bathtubs are nice. Grab a blanket, comforter, something like that, and put that over the top of you. You'll have 4 little small walls around you, and also the comforter or heavy blanket on top to give you some shield from above. Stay away from those windows, obviously. That's the weakest part of whatever structure that we're in. It's not a school day, so I don't as much worry about the large gymnasiums and the auditoriums and things like that, although we probably do have some some things going on this weekend in some of those larger settings, with it being Easter, and a lot of folks need to pull things inside today as opposed to outside, especially for the some of the kiddos and whatnot. And so we'll keep that kind of keep that idea in mind as well. Vehicles, not a good idea unless you're driving away from the storm. So be mindful of that, obviously. Evacuate mobile homes. Shoes and helmets, good option there as well. Shoes especially. I know it's kind of a lazy Saturday and not necessarily a time when a lot of folks are fully decked out, but we do want to keep those thoughts in mind as we go through the next little bit here. Again, the Weather Service went with that warning for radar indicated tornado. They have not had confirmation of it per se from them. Let me look at one other thing here real fast while we're doing that. And yeah, I don't see any visual confirmation of anything. But that's good. Warning goes till 12:45. Okay, so you guys in Gregg County, be mindful of that as always. And as we go through the afternoon, we got this what's going to be a more solid line of storms coming through. That'll obviously be something that gets a lot of folks fired up as well. Here's the radar looking back, a little bit broader look from Hugh Springs back down to Gilmer. You got some very heavy downpours in there. And then this line coming into western Tyler right now, some heavier downpours back towards Chandler, and then the line arcs back southwest to just west of Palestine. Let's see here. Absolutely. Thanks, guys, for all the comments and whatnot. Appreciate that much. Let's do this real fast. And I want to pull that out. So we'll pull Radar Omega in here. It'll put a few more landmarks in there for you also. So the polygon itself does not extend to Longview proper. So I do want to give you that. You guys in Longview, y'all are just outside of that. It does clip the northern part of the city of Kilgore, although I think this is going to be skating between Liberty City and north of Kilgore. We'll just say that. All right, so we're at 12:04 now, coming on for tornado warning, which is going to run till 12:45 for Smith and also what would be Gregg counties. This will be out of Smith County well before 12:45, but the warning does not include the city of Tyler, so I do want to make that clear to folks who are hopping on, in case you know whether radio popped on or something like that. Just do be advised of that. Hey, thanks, Alberto. I see you there, brother. Much love to you guys. So as we roll through the afternoon, we've got these storms firing up out ahead of the main line, which runs again from northeast to southwest. You can see, the heavier rainfall from Texarkana back down into the Gilmer area onto Linden, Tyler. And that is going to be kind of the apex of the heaviest of the rainfall. It will subside once that main artery kind of passes through. Jessica says sirens are going off at UT Tyler. Okay. Thanks for that, Jessica. So that's on the east side of town. Not inside of that warning, but good to know that that's there anyway. So absolutely, Aaron. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, thank you, Shelly. Appreciate that. Check on something, too, while we're talking here real fast. So I'm going to check in with one person real fast, see if we can get some other things squared away. So give me just one sec here. All right, see if I can pull this up real fast. Again, this area of greatest concern, guys, is now going to be sitting, we'll say northeast of that little Browning community there. This will be along and north of 31 east, about to head into Gregg County. All right, so we're coming up on 12:07. The warning itself goes 12:45 expiration. Let me pull this in here. So here's kind of what the radar is seeing out of Shreveport. You can see again. Here's 31. We'll pull that out. Sorry about that. So here's the area of concern. This little concentrated pocket there north of 31. That would be up closer to 2767. Yeah. And here's Interstate 20 right here. So if you're between 31 and I-20 there in extreme eastern Smith County, that's the area of greatest potential for something developing. Again, I have not seen any visual confirmation of this. This is radar indicated. But what we did have earlier, what looked like a legit tornado went right through I know it was the eastern side of Lindale. I had a friend send me some video of that earlier on. And so that in and of itself kind of gives you a bit more pause for what's going on here now, or it gives you a little bit more of an indication that things are potentially in a position to go that direction. So thus the warning was issued by the Weather Service, and so we'll run with that until it's either canceled or allowed to expire. You guys in Kilgore, again, this is going to pass north of y'all. Like I said earlier, I think Liberty City is probably a more certain, at least potential impact area based on whatever is going on here. This is going to pass in that direction. So Weather Service is going to continue the warning. They just brought in an updated statement on that. So we'll take a look at that and look at it together here. Warning remains in effect till 12:45, southwestern Gregg, east central Smith, 12:08. Storm capable of a tornado, 6 miles southwest of Liberty City or 9 miles west of Kilgore, moving northeast to 20. All right, so that tells us what we saw by looking at the radar there, which is good because it's good to have the confirmation that what you're seeing is what you perceive it to be. So you bet, Cindy. Absolutely. Gregg County Sky Warn, keeping an eye on that. You guys in Longview, especially southwest side of Longview, just keep this in mind here as this thing runs northeast. Y'all are not inside of that warning as of yet. So we'll continue to monitor this here. Storm looks impressive enough on a radar just from the regular velocity, the regular reflectivity product there. You can see it trying to kind of arc around a little bit. So it's definitely got some good rotation with it. Whether or not it's producing is a whole other story, and we won't know that until we get a little bit further down the line here. You bet, Elsa. So Rihanna says sirens going off by Golden Road Park in Tyler. Okay. Thanks for that, Rihanna. As we've been talking about, this warning does not include the city of Tyler. The severe thunderstorm warning was outside the city as well, for that matter. But may have clipped an extreme eastern part of the city, but that is long since gone now. Tracy, you asking about Longview. I just said Longview's not inside the polygon as of right now. That is not. You guys are not included in that at this point. White Oak, Ashley asking about White Oak. Sirens went off about 10 minutes ago. Okay. Yeah, you guys in White Oak are just outside the edge of the warning, as best as I can tell, at least. You bet, Dana. So I will say this: the overall presentation, at least on the velocity side, doesn't look as pronounced as it did a few minutes ago. Looks definitely like a good wind, some wind potential in there, obviously, but it doesn't. It's not presenting quite as much gate to gate shear, but not as much of that as we had at least a little bit earlier. Let's look back on this on radar scope and pull that in. And then I know we can loop that. So here's a loop. You can see this thing start to kind of spin up. You see that? See how it starts to spin up? And when that started to happen, that's when the warning was issued by the Weather Service on it. So, I mean, there's still something there, but it doesn't look quite as pronounced, maybe. Haley just checking in. Yeah, it does not include South Tyler. You guys are fine right now. So regardless of whatever is there, it is going to pass right there near Liberty City and the I-20 corridor as well. So if you've got folks who are east or westbound on 20 and are going to be in that Liberty City area, shortly, I would put them up to speed on what's going on. If they want to, follow us on Facebook Live or also on YouTube or on X, we've got a couple different ways for folks to follow. But if you've got anybody that's going to be, crossing I-20 there near the Smith-Gregg County line, let's be sure those folks are up to speed on what's going on. All right, so we're 12:16 now. Tornado warning continues for extreme eastern Smith County and Gregg County. We'll call it. Let's just call it southwestern Gregg County. The storm which has prompted all this, the main area of rotation is right along the Smith-Gregg County line. Now, with the delay in radar that you deal with, I would say it's right on top of the county line, if not easing over into Gregg County at this point. So that does put the folks in Liberty City in the path of that. This is going to pass, as we told you earlier, pass north of Kilgore. This is not going to impact you guys proper. But if it continues on that same positioning and that same track, it will take it towards the west side of Longview. So we do want folks in Longview to be aware of that. You are not under a warning at this time in Longview, but the potential for that lays at the feet of the Weather Service. They'll decide what they want to do with it, if they need to pick that ball up and take it further downstream. But do want to get you guys in the Longview area up to speed while we kind of cipher through this and figure out where it's going to run from here. Have not seen any visual confirmation on that, or reports of any visual confirmation, I should say. So that's good. Yeah, I did see the report of some damage there up in the Lindale area. Caitlin, I did see talk of that. So here's kind of where we're sitting at now. Rain's coming down in Tyler. Heavier rain off to the west of town. And so we'll see that pick up here shortly. And just kind of a scattering of heavier or embedded heavier areas of rainfall. A good chunk of that now getting east of Gilmer. Going to be getting into northern Gregg County here shortly. And then back further south and west, just more embedded pockets of heavier downpours. The rain is great, man. Finally have some of it is awesome. Where we've been with the drought and whatnot, but obviously you don't like the severe weather aspect of that. Smith County amateur radio folks had an observer that was near the Smith-Gregg County line as that thing passed over earlier. Did not see anything resembling rotation or a tornado or the like, so that's good. All right, so you bet, Melissa. Thank you. Monica's got some pretty good rain in Chapel Hill. Yeah, I bet so. And there'll be more of that too. Besides this here, the rain is going to be affecting a whole big old chunk of the area this afternoon, and so that'll be the thing that affects most folks. We are clear of any watch boxes at this time too. By the way, Storm Prediction Center is obviously monitoring the area. They put out a mesoscale discussion here a couple of minutes ago, I think, given this warning that we've had issued and the situation that we had up in the Lindale area earlier on. Not surprised that they were going to issue something as far as at least a discussion on what's going on. Sounds like we got sirens in Longview now. Okay. So they have activated the sirens in the city of Longview. So FYI on that. Weather Service Storm Prediction Center, unlikely, they say, to issue any kind of a watch box at this point for our area. So it's interesting to have that. But it also, I think, speaks to the it kind of speaks to the overall situation, how widespread this is expected to be. From their standpoint, at least. So that's good to know. Sirens in Spring Hill. Okay, thanks for that, Grace. Appreciate it. Pine Tree's got the sirens going off, says Carly. Yeah, Jonathan, the winds will pick up on the north side of Tyler too. This little cluster of showers and thunderstorms that's embedded from just southeast of Lindale back to near the airport and down to Highway 31. That's going to continue coming across. That'll be the heaviest of the rain that we'll see in Tyler probably for the rest of the day, as the stuff behind that is going to be lighter. And you'll hear some rumbles of thunder. Just heard a little bit outside our place as we speak. So. Not surprised by that. Jessica, I haven't seen any reports of anything touching down with this particular situation that we came on to go live for. Uh, we did have some damage in the Lindale area earlier from a separate storm, not this one specific. That was for another storm that passed through earlier on, about 10:15 to 10:30. In that time frame there, got some video of some stuff earlier that I was in the process of about to post whenever this hit the fan here. So we'll forego that for now and get that back to you guys here probably later on this afternoon. Again, the warning itself for Gregg County goes until 12:45. So we're at 12:23 now. The tornadic piece of this has now exited out of Smith County. So, this thing is plainly over into the Gregg County side of things now. As far as what is there, here's Liberty City. This is where that couplet was sitting at. Still, still modest, I'll say, but not as pronounced even as much as it was here 15, 20 minutes ago, which is good. You've still got, again, we're looking at the same piece of real estate. Here's Liberty City on the right-hand side. This is our velocity product, okay? We're looking at the direction the winds are blowing. On the left-hand side, you've got the reflectivity piece that we're normally used to looking at on our phones and whatnot when you're talking about radar. So the rainfall, you can see still some of that wrapping motion over the west side of Liberty City, but the velocity product does not look as pronounced when it comes to actual, rotation that would be doing so to the point that could produce something or that you would expect to produce anything tornadic. So a good situation there. Still some heavy rain, and I know when situations like this happen, folks get nervous. You get keyed up. The rain starts coming down hard, and you're thinking, well, man, what's going on? Is this the big one? And at least it doesn't appear right now like it is, but we'll continue to watch that, and I'm sure the Weather Service folks are monitoring that as well to make some kind of an update on the situation now that this has cleared out of Smith County. Kilgore's all calm now. Okay, and it looks like they are. There's the update. That's kind of what I was waiting for. So they're going to continue to run with this. All right, so let's look at this together here. As we said, this has now exited out of Smith County. Typically, when it exits out of a county like that, they will make an update to the overall statement. Warning remains in effect 12:45. Southwestern Gregg. Storm capable of a tornado located over Liberty City or 6 miles northwest of Kilgore, moving northeast at 20. All right, so they're going to continue to walk this thing a little further, understandably so. So we will walk along with it. Okay. Let me check something here real fast. All right, so let's continue to monitor this here. Seeing some chatter. Chatter from up around the I-20 corridor here from a few minutes ago. I see you guys with that. So yeah, it's hard to see. This thing is starting to, looks like it may be trying to cycle back a little bit more. Those velocities are trying to perk back up a little bit. So that'll be something to watch, and just kind of another another indication of why you want to hang with these things for a bit and see how they tend to operate. Are they trying to cycle back up, or are they just kind of losing their composure altogether? So I would say at this point, this thing may be trying to cycle back up. If it is, it's doing it east, kind of northeast side of Liberty City now. So you guys at Liberty City, hang there in your safe spot here for a couple more minutes, and then we will watch that. If the Weather Service does in fact issue further down the line, it's going to include the city of Longview. I don't see how you can't, but that has not happened yet. But it is something to be mindful of if you are, in the Longview area, particularly if you're between White Oak and Longview. You want to definitely be aware of that, and kind of in ready for that safe spot that you need to hop to. So we're at 12:29 now, coming up on 12:30. Smith County side of the warning has been canceled. We continue with the warning for Gregg County till 12:45 officially, and then at that point, probably before then, they will make a decision on extending this thing. If they in fact do decide to do that, and that'll be at their discretion only. We got rainfall though, obviously back behind this. So just because you've got the tornado warning, a lot of folks getting some really good rain and some heavy rain too now getting into the north and western parts of the city of Tyler. So be mindful of that. You guys out towards the airport and back up on the north side towards Swan. And on to up towards Hawkins, but that does not seem to be showing any signs of severe, at least at this point. So good news there. Heavy rainfall down into Bullard, on over to Frankston as well. White House, you've got some hefty rain coming your general direction. Hang in there for that. Further south, not much going on. Henderson, it's all quiet. The show is going on north of you, and some showers south of you. Rusk, you'll get some rain eventually. Lufkin, Nacogdoches, you guys will be more scattered on the showers and thunderstorms until this larger complex swings south and east through there. Absolutely, David. Thank you for being here, man. Got some folks asking about some specific towns. Here's the radar loop here for now. We do not have a watch box, first off, so there's no severe or tornado watch box in play. The only warning we have is the Gregg County warning. That goes for another 14 minutes officially, and then they'll reassess that. After this main line comes through, which you can see kind of arcing that leading edge more or less, that should be the end of any severe weather concern for the afternoon. It had appeared earlier that we might see a few gusts of wind, but did not necessarily look like much of a tornado setup for today. So that's obviously neither here nor there now, but it is kind of something that is interesting. Got some folks asking about getting warnings and whatnot. I'm not sure exactly what all was going on. With I got folks asking different questions about different jurisdictions that I'm not real familiar with, so I'll steer clear of that. I thank you, April. Appreciate that very much. So, still no word from the Weather Service on what they intend to do with the warning. Let's get back in and see how this seems to be progressing. So, there's still a nice couplet there. Yeah, I know, Ian. Same thing. Yeah. And it is, and that's a good point. We're into the month of April. We are in prime time. Severe weather season. This is pretty much the main show of the year is between early April and early to mid May around our area. And so we need to always be mindful of that potential. Any day that it's raining, you just about need to be aware of that, or at least have that in the back of your mind at this time of year. We get another month or so, month and a half into May and into June. The dynamics become different, and there's different things that need to happen that may or may not be there. But this time of year, there's usually an awful lot of them that are on the table, which is why it's such an historic time of the year. You see me post about so many of these events that have happened in the past during this time of year, and because the players are on the table. Sirens off now, Brandy says in Pine Tree. Okay, good. Carly, I see that. Thank you. You bet, Brother Harry. Rain's really picking up here in Tyler, too. I'll tell you that. Yeah, we have had a pretty easy, and I agree with that, too, man, for sure. So here we are at 12:35. Let's see here. Okay, yeah, I think we're probably gonna have us another warning here shortly for you guys downstream in Longview, like we've been talking about. So we'll see if that occurs, but I expect that's what we're gonna see here shortly, and we'll stick with it as long as we need to. Nathan asking, was there any damage in Liberty City? I haven't heard of any, Nathan. Yeah, Nathan, I haven't heard anything about that yet, but we'll see. We'll see what's said. All right, there we have what we expected. Stand by.
Tornado warning.
All right, so the Weather Service is in the process. They have issued it. It's coming out on the weather radios now. Tornado warning effect for central Gregg, west central Harrison, southeastern Upshur County, and that'll go until 1:15. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado located near Clarksville City or near White Oak, moving northeast at 20. And again, this is radar indicated. All right. So you can see the flashing. You can see the flashing there on the screen, showing you the new warning that is out. And so it also shows you that the city of Longview is included in that. You guys in Spring Hill, there's White Oak, and it is all for this guy right here. Okay. So y'all, Liberty City, y'all are done. You can step down there from that. Sirens back on in South Longview. Yeah, Shane, I would expect them to run pretty wide open for a bit. Sirens in White Oak. Ashley, thanks for that. Pine Tree, Brandy, Steen are hearing the sirens too. Yeah, man, and not the funnest of sounds, but again, this will be what we watch here for the next bit. If you're just now hopping on, we've been watching this storm since it was back on the east side of Smith County, and continues to run northeast, continues to kind of try to cycle up and down, and so that cycling has continued, and therefore the storm hasn't really hasn't dissipated per se, and so we're left with that potential, at least on the radar. It's talking like it wants to produce a tornado. Hasn't done anything yet that we've had confirmation of. Again, on the left hand side of the screen, here's what the radar looks like. Here's White Oak. All right, we've got the same real estate on the right side as we do on the left side, but we're showing you what the radar looks like. You can kind of make out a little bit of that, kind of that hooking motion. See that? Okay. That's showing us the rotation raindrops getting kind of wrapped around what's a larger area of rotation. And a lot of thunderstorms will rotate, but the question is, do they rotate enough to produce something at the ground that can do damage? So that's always the big question there. This is passing south, and this is passing south of White Oak. There you guys are in White Oak. There's Clarksville City. This will run on the north side. This will run kind of on that northwest side of Longview. West, well, let's call it the west side, because it's going to continue moving northeast. So you can kind of infer from the motion of the mouse there where we're going to take this. And it does clip extreme southern Upshur County. So I know we have a whole other set of shoes that drop when different counties are brought into something like a tornado warning. So this is going to be well south of Gilmer. You guys in Upshur County, and I think the vast majority of this, you fan these things out a little bit wider to help with any kind of deviant motion. But more than likely, this thing is gonna run. Is going to probably escape Upshur County. But I know we also have brought in folks who are in Harrison County now, with where Harrison and Gregg County intersect, or right there on the east side of Longview. So I think we have some other folks who do begin to get in on the scene here once that latest warning was issued. So I do want to speak to that somewhat as well. Some pretty good wrapping motion there, south side of White Oak. You can really see how it shows up nicely on the radar. Power's out, East Mountain. Okay, thanks, Autumn. Sorry about that. I know that's never fun. So we're 1241 now. We'll continue to hang here and watch this with you as long as we've got it in the area. Tori, if you're in Oregon City, it's probably for Longview. Yeah. Or city. Okay, I thought you were up in Oregon somewhere. Yeah. Yeah, well, in that case, it could be either one. Okay, I'm with you now. We were up in Oregon a couple of last month. It was a month before last. I lose track, but um, anyway. You bet, Tori. Absolutely. So you guys, Kilgore, a lot of heavy rain, getting into the area now, into Kilgore proper. Nothing tornadic for you guys. Let's look at the radar here for a second and give it a little bit more of an overview. You can definitely make out how that thing is. It looks more impressive there. At hooking south of White Oak. So we need to pay that some attention there. Okay, real quick. Kilgore, moderate to heavy rainfall. Will be in y'all's neck of the woods here shortly. We got heavy rain moving through the city of Tyler right now. Heavy rain into White House. Back over to Bullard. The stuff, once this leading line moves through, this stuff back behind it will be lighter in overall intensity. So do keep that in mind. Sandra got an alert for Hawkins. All right. Not seeing much there in Hawkins besides some decent rain, though, Sandra, for whatever that's worth, okay? Ian says his wife's at the Walmart in Longview. They said moved everybody to the back of the store. Okay. Well, it's good to know that they've got some protocols in place there, so that's good. So again, the only warning we have is this guy right here, but that's plenty. That is plenty. Absolutely, Sandra. Target did the same thing. Okay. I'll tell you too, and this is just to give you guys a heads up. If you want severe weather or would like some severe weather warning opportunity, I posted something earlier this week, a new endeavor I'm involved with called Weather Call Next Gen. You'll see a post about that pinned to the top of the page on Facebook. If you want to look into that, it's a subscription service, but I have used it here over the last year. It works well. So I don't want to spend a lot of time talking about that here at the moment, but I do want to mention it to you guys as a way of receiving severe weather alerts to your phone through a phone call with a pre-recorded message from me on that. So find that at the top of the Facebook page if you're watching on Facebook. If you're watching on YouTube or X, go to the Facebook page, Doc Deason's Weather, and you'll see that information about Weather Call Next Gen on the top of the page there. All right. Okay, 1246. So we'll lose the first tornado warning has now cleared off. So we take some of the confusion out of the situation. Let's get back onto the velocity product there. If you're going to have something, it's going to be in this area right here. All right, so we're northeast of 31. There's 2206. All right. So current rain rate inch 56 an hour there in Troop. Okay. Thank you for that. Sirens just went off in Marshall. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I've yet to see anything as far as touchdown of this or any kind of visual confirmation. So that is encouraging, but still, with the warning in place and the history that we had from earlier this morning with that storm that went over Lindale, we want to be sure that we're in place for this kind of thing, in the place that we need to be, I should say, in the proper frame of mind and ready to do what we need to do to take those precautions there. So you guys in Longview, for just hopping on, you are inside that tornado warning polygon. It includes pretty much all of Longview, extreme south side of town. Maybe clipped out of it. You guys, down on the I-20 side of town are not inside the polygon, so that is good to say. For point of reference for you guys that are familiar with the area. If we have anything, it's going to be sitting right there near that Farm to Market 2206 area there on the west side of town. All right. I have not had reports of anything being spotted, but based on what I'm seeing with the radar, if I was going to try to hone in on something, that's the area that I would be looking at. Kelly said sirens did go off in Marshall. Okay, good to know. Hunkered down in New Resurrection. Absolutely. Sean, thank you. Appreciate that. Best to you guys. So let's do this. So we got some reports of some pretty good flooding there on Highway 80 at intersection of 43 just now. About 2 inches of water is what their emergency management folks, Gregg County, or the ham radio guys in Gregg County are saying. So that's so let's do this. Let's see if we can loop that. Had some folks asking about some projections. I think that's got me out of the area there. So it doesn't look quite as this thing doesn't look quite as together as it did a few scans ago. I will say that. So that's encouraging, at least. Looks like the Weather Service has also done some trimming to this warning. They have pulled the Upshur County piece of it out. Remember we talked about it. I didn't think we were going to have to necessarily worry about that, but you never can tell initially when you start to try to assess the situation. But they have gone ahead and pulled that Upshur County piece out due to the position of the storm and its forward movement. They are going to continue that warning. They'll run it until 1:15, 12:51. Storm capable of a tornado located over Longview, moving northeast at 20. All right, so nothing there that nothing that we can't see, so that's good. You always want to be sure you're not missing something. So this will pass well north of the I-20 portion of Longview. You guys there on the south side of Longview along I-20, this will not impact you guys. This is going to continue tracking northeast and we'll cross over into Harrison County here in the next 20 minutes or so. But for those of you who did pop in here for the Upshur County piece, that has been cleared out. So Upshur County no longer in the warning. Heavy rain in there too. I mean, that's a lot of good rain coming down in the city of Longview. I'm seeing some talk of some high water on some roads, which is not surprising. Yeah, Mac asking, is there anything confirmed? Nothing confirmed as of yet, Mac. This is all radar indicated. At least this particular one is. You bet, Jason. This whole thing is, it's definitely, there's a large mesocyclone there. You can really make that out, but as far as anything that's producing tightly, doesn't look like it's doing that at this point. David watching from Hillsdale, Michigan. Thanks for being on here, brother. Happy Easter. A lot of good rain, Randy says, in noonday. Yeah, this has been what we exactly needed for the drought. I will say that. And we don't need the severe weather, but we usually have one. You have the other a lot of times. This, at least in April. So that's just kind of comes with the territory, so to speak. Winds picking up on the east central Longview, says Brianna. Okay, thanks, Brianna, for that. Appreciate it. Yeah, I believe it, Sean. Wind picking up pretty nice, I bet. Yeah, Jackie, I know it's got a little uncomfortable when you got the pouring rain and the lightning sirens going off there in Longview. Yeah. We'll get this thing through there. Next 15 minutes will be past all that. So y'all just hang tight in there. And again, that if that helps any at all, we're gonna see this kind of as the main. This will be the main show, at least for severe weather. Anything along this leading edge that is, kind of that more heightened area from Jefferson back down to just north of Marshall into Longview into Smith County. You could see how the radar returns overall seem to lose a lot of their steam behind this leading line here. So that's good. Yeah, Shannon, I understand. It takes a long time when you're having to wait on something like that. I get it. I understand. Hey, Kelly, thanks for watching from California. Appreciate that. Looks like this thing is getting slammed into by some of this additional rain that's coming in. to the west, northwest, and even starting to get ingested in from the southwest, which those kind of things can disrupt these kind of circulations, and I think that may be some of what we're seeing with the velocity products too. We'll see. Don't have as tight of a situation here as we did a few minutes ago, which is good. That's what you want. Sure, Kelly. Glad we can help out. Bill Owens and H.G. Mosley, Nixon. Thanks for being there, man. Appreciate you watching from Jefferson, Teresa. Brett's in Harleton. Glad you're there, Brett. Thank you. Hey, Brian. Appreciate you being here, man. It's good to see you. Absolutely, Keith. Do what we can, man. Appreciate you. Chelsea asking what it looks like for Kilgore. It looks like a lot of rain to me in Kilgore, Chelsea. I don't see anything disconcerting there. Just an awful lot of rain coming in, which is what we would hope for, or what we need. But I'm not seeing just a ton that's alarming there for you guys. But you're going to get a good rain for sure. Hey, Chris, good to see you, man. Thank you. Still a little thunder here on the backside of this in Tyler. Heard a little rumble out there now. Absolutely, Ellie. Yeah. Hey, Travis Thornton. Thank you for watching, Travis. Appreciate that. Jessica said George Ritchie and Gilmer Road area coming down pretty heavy there. Yeah, not surprising. Winds picking up at 80 and the loop in Longview. Paula, thanks for that. Appreciate it. Good, Cammy. Glad for that. Yeah, they'll be all right. You hang in there. Just a lot of rain in Smith County. All right, so here's the best news of the day. You ready for that? Weather Service has canceled the tornado warning for Gregg County. Remember, we talked about how it looked like that thing was not as put together as it had been. So that has allowed them to go ahead and pull the plug on it, which is good news for sure. I know I was not expecting to see this today. I'll be just completely honest with you. So I know a lot of folks were caught off guard with that. And those days occur, which is why we try to be, as ready as we can to hop in and handle stuff. But I know I was not expecting that today. Maybe others were, but I wasn't. So thank you for hopping on here and being a part of this with me. I appreciate it greatly. Thanks to my friends, I was able to meet with some very nice folks with Project One Roofing earlier on in the week, and honored to be able to partner with them here on our page. So we appreciate them. The folks at Ultra Federal Credit Union, thank you them for partnering with us as well, and my friends at Rose City Air for helping us out in what we do here. We've got some interesting things coming for you this spring that we'll talk about as they kind of come to fruition and get online. But we do have some things that we're working in the background to try and improve what we're able to do here for you. And as we talked about earlier also, if you need severe weather warning information and you would like something that would call you on the phone with a message if a storm is producing severe weather and that polygon impacts your specific address. Check the situation out at Weather Call Next Gen. You'll find a link for that on the top of my my Facebook page. That'll be pinned there. All right. So for now, we are going to step aside, let you enjoy the rest of your Easter weekend and your Saturday. I hope you find a church to go to tomorrow, and hope you are able to spend some good time with your family. We're not going to have problems with rain, at least tomorrow morning, so that'll be good news. And we'll have some decent weather. Going to be kind of cool. But again, I appreciate you guys letting me be a part of what you are doing when it comes to your severe weather coverage. That means an awful lot to me. Follow me on the social sites, the different places there. You can see us on X. You can see us there on YouTube. You can find us on Instagram. We do some stuff with Instagram. But it's a little harder to post over there sometimes, especially live. So we primarily stick with the others there that you see on the screen. Thanks again. Email if you have any questions or if you had any video, anything that you found compelling today. Feel free to shoot those over to me, Doc, at docdeason.com. All right. Happy Easter to you and your family. We will talk here soon if we need to. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of your day, y'all.
Thanks for watching this live broadcast from Doc Deason's Weather. When weather's at its worst, we're at our best. Doc Deason's